I want to get better at redstone. And building from a tutorial doesn't really help with that goal. So I set out to design my own without looking at a tutorial first. This isn't a tutorial on how to build the best automatic potion brewer out there. This is me figuring it out and showing you the process of how I went about figuring this out on my own. So maybe you can take inspiration and build your own project of some sort. I'm a software developer, and redstone is like logic, right? Well, I mean, that's what I think, but often get frustrated because there's weird things that happen that I don't expect, and debugging that can be a pain. I know the basics, but there's still a bunch of issues that I run into and get stuck on. So, one of the first things I did, just like in software, we start by gathering requirements. So I started writing pseudocode on signs. So some of these are like restating previous things, but sometimes that can have an important distinction. And I kind of rephrased that here. And so then I started using the colored wool technique to have different lines of redstone that trigger different things, and started trying to map the different variables. So have all ingredients. Okay, well, that's when the green line's not powered. Yeah, so let's go through that. The way I've laid this out, so we have our brewing stand back there with a hopper going down into it, and then we have a bunch of hoppers along the side going into that one hopper. Then I have droppers underneath that shoot an item up into these hoppers. One of each of the ingredients goes up into the hoppers, and then they travel, and they should each end up in the first item slot. So I would think end up in order, but this is out of order, and that's one of the issues I'm running into. And so then this hopper here, once they're all brewed, it goes in to the barrel. So the barrels here have our different items. So we have water bottles, another wort, and these are our ingredients that go into the droppers. So those are all full. So let's see, this comparator is monitoring this hopper. This is the comparator that basically the yellow line is detecting. Have we finished brewing? Because once this is empty, that means that the last ingredient is in the brewing stand. And so then that's when we should start this 20-second countdown clock, which is this. Let's see, the hopper clock. So this orange line goes into that orange block over there, which is next to this hopper underneath the brewing stand. So that orange line locks this hopper, which prevents the water bottles from flowing out. And the important thing is we need to unlock it for just long enough to let 3 potions out. And then after those potions are out, then we need to unlock this hopper to let 3 water bottles in. So that is this light blue line. This dark blue line is seeing if we have water bottles. So then we have similar lines on. So these are monitoring the droppers. And so then the light will light up when we're out of stock on something. That signal also goes the other way. That just comes down and also powers this yellow line. So if anything's out on this green line, it powers this, which turns this clock off. So if this clock is off, then it won't ever let anything out of the brewing stand. This is mostly just the copy of that over there, except I added the new shelves. Yeah, I was kind of decorating it. Thought it looked better to showcase the ingredients and cover up the hoppers. I'm just going to press this red button, and we can see, so these are gunpowder should be last, redstone right before it. So when we look in here, somehow the magma cream ended up in the 3rd slot, even though it should have been the 2nd ingredient, and that would mess things up. So in order to get around that, because all those are being fired at the same time, it's not consistent enough necessarily that they're fired in the right order. So I'm making this like leaf stone, and this is something I discovered recently, that'll update the leaves in order. So the closest leaf fires first. So this leaf will get that signal when that changes first, and then these observers, it'll power this block, then this block, then this block, then this block. Hopefully that means that items are going into this brewing stand in the right order. We're just going to test this, see where I left off. We're going to take these 3 out. In theory, that should have triggered. It didn't. Okay. So yeah, this purple line, this hopper. Why was the hopper's locked to prevent potions from flowing out? So that should have turned this off. Okay. Which turns this off. That did do something. I heard a piston. So this is part of the issue. Okay, cool. For discovering. We want, for when this is off, what do I say? Purple line. Which one's the purple line? I need another sign. Barrel full is purple line. So barrel full or not have all ingredients. So yeah, that's what this, not have all ingredients, that powers the yellow line. Not barrel full being full, that powers the yellow line. That's great. If have all ingredients and done brewing. Done brewing. Have we defined what that is? Done brewing is yellow line, not powered, plus a 20-second delay. So this is the 20-second delay. I feel like there's got to be something. There's got to be something here that I like use that to detect that happened and then trigger the red line again. When does this red line trigger? It comes. Okay, so I have a red line. Maybe we should just do this. This is what we should do. This is all problem solving, really. Is when you're trying to solve a problem, you break it down into its smaller parts. We still got one of each color. So there must be something else that when I was doing this before. Okay, no, I got 2 white and 2 black this time. So why is that? That's once. That was twice. And that's interesting. It's always when you remove the block. Yeah. It's always when it's removed. And it's only the first 2. We're going to test something else now. Let's try this again. Let's see if this makes a difference. Oh my gosh, it looks like I should have 2 of each. Wow. If anybody can explain if this is a bug or why this happens, yeah, I'd appreciate it. Leave a comment. Okay, so we have a solution to the multiple items problem. So we're gonna move that. It should have fired those. Yeah, see, I have 2 here. Okay, so those are done. Just because this is turned off, I want to see. So if I do this, they should disappear in 20 seconds. It's done. And then water bottles come in. So yeah, now the problem is the clock's still going. So these are going to come out, yep, every 20 seconds. So I need to figure out when do we power the red line? What do we use to power the red line? Because as soon as we power the red line, that is going to fill this hopper again and power the yellow line, which will stop the clock. So when do we power this red line? We power the red line when purple is off. I'm trying to remember why I wanted to. Okay, I remember. Basically, this block, once I put it up there, that sends 1 pulse. Once I take it away, that sends another pulse. So I either need to keep this piston powered in between, which I guess I could do with this copper bulb. I don't necessarily need this observer. That makes sense. Let's test this. If I power that, so that stays powered even after the button stops. Perfect. So that sent those ingredients in. I'll let that do its thing while I try to figure out, going back to these again. If barrel full and have all ingredients. So purple should be false. Okay. And green should also be false. If both of those are false, when we get this pulse, we should also pulse red. Or I'm almost wondering if this is too soon, because if... No, that should be fine, because, okay, this is what I'm thinking. When we pulse red, that just sends more ingredients out. But yellow triggering would just disable this clock, but it still has to stick all the items back here, or back here, after this pulse, so we have time. And even if a new ingredient goes in here while the water bottles are still going in, or the other potions are flowing out, it won't do anything. It's just another word. It won't brew anything. So we'll have the ingredients prepped for the next one. We're going to take 2 items out. Am I crazy? This is shit. Oh, but it's locked. This is locked because okay. Another problem here. The brewing stand needs to be one higher, so that way the hopper that's locked is the one under the brewing stand, but not going into the barrel. How does that affect the rest of the design? It means everything has to move up, except for the barrel on the bottom, I think. Well, I hope some of that problem solving was helpful for somebody out there, even if it's not the best automatic potion brewer design out there. It's my design. I figured it out on my own and without a tutorial, and that I'm pretty happy about that. And hopefully that helps. Just kind of talking through that process, help somebody figure out something they've been working on. But yeah, I'm gonna make that change. Then we're gonna start building it in a survival world, because that was the whole point of coming up with this design. I'll catch you in a bit. I am back on the Welsknight Patreon server, and there's a couple things I realized. One, I shouldn't build this out of wool, because that'll burn. Unfortunately, I'm using leafstone. That could also burn, but I just need to be careful about how far away lava is. And the wood, instead of spruce, I should use something else that is less likely to burn. So yeah, I replaced the wool with smooth stone in here, but I think I have almost all the materials except the brewing stand. And I realized I don't even have any blaze rods, and I'm gonna need a lot of blaze powder. I gathered some of the other things. This is all the magma cream I have. I have nether wart. I just grabbed a bunch of glass to make bottles. So yeah, I figured I should have some of this to plant. I think the bridge is still here somewhere. I'm gonna leave it open, I think. It's not a great bridge, but this, maybe somebody wants to... I don't know, maybe there already is one that I don't know about. But there's a blaze spawner over here. And there's only one, though, so maybe it's not the best place to turn into a blaze farm. But this fortress is completely lit up because of the wither skeleton farm. So, okay, they do spawn still, even though there's buttons. I think I'm gonna go for a stack. That should be plenty. Okay, we got what we need. Fire crackling freaked me out. There's a wither skeleton there. We missed a spot. That's okay. Get home. Don't walk off. Don't get shut off. I hate one-eyed bridges. I hate the nether, the open nether. This part's fine. This is great. Walking and potentially falling over lava, losing everything. Not great. So yeah, this somewhere over here, I want to put this automatic potion brewer. Should put soul lanterns around here too. That would scare away the piglins. Okay, now this box should have everything we need. I'm gonna try to figure out where this schematic fits in all this, and dig out an area, make sure there's not lava around where that'll burn the leaves, and then I'll be back, and you'll probably see all that on time lapse. So let's get to it. We got it all built up here in survival, and let's check out how well it's done so far. Yep, all brewed up. I'm pretty happy with that. Worked out well. Already have a full stock of potions. Not out of ingredients yet, but yeah, those barrels are all empty right now. So there's a few more still in the droppers, but I need to go figure out how to get more of some of those. I did make another wart farm here. Mushrooms here keep this guy afraid, so he won't attack, and they run away. So you're safer that way. I think I need to add some soul lanterns around here for the piglins, or I could just wear gold. Yeah, so we can restock that as that grows. But yeah, we'll need magma cream, blaze powder, and redstone. Let me know in the comments what you think of this, and if you have any other suggestions for the build, and if you learn anything from how I went about trying to solve this problem and designing my own potion brewer, and maybe even have suggestions for me on how I could better build this. I would appreciate any and all feedback. Have a good one, everybody. Goodbye.